Have you ever thought about quitting photography? Well, you're definitely not alone if you have. Now, I've talked to so many photographers over the last few years that have been struggling with the negative sides of photography. So I thought I would have a little chat today about the negatives and share how I try to flip these feelings into positives. As always, during the video, I'll be hopeful of capturing a couple of landscape photography images. So come and join me and let's see what we can find. Spring is on its way, guys. The birds are chirping, the buds are starting to come out on the trees here, and things looking good. It's been a bit of a long winter, but actually thoroughly enjoyable. This particular area I've not visited before, so this is a bit of a new one for me, and I'm hopeful to be able to maybe capture a coastal woodland image here today. The conditions actually are quite good for what I've got in mind. The sun's diffused behind this layer of high level cloud, and I'm hopeful that I can shoot down the cliff edge here towards the sea, and that's going to offer a little bit of a simplistic image to the scene, because quite often when you don't have those atmospheric conditions in the woodland, you need something a little bit different, something to help you minimalise and just, you know, cut down on the chaotic environment of the woodland. So that's exactly what I'm looking for today. So a bit of a stomp, a couple of miles up this coastal path, and hopefully we can come up with something. That could definitely work in some mist. This looks like an interesting area. So I think what's really interesting is all these branches sweeping over down into the cove. They all follow the same path, which is something I'm looking at actually. The way they sweep down and lead the eye down into the stony cove beyond. There's some white water around the bottom there as well, which maybe adds a little bit of detail. So I think, yeah, maybe it's worth spending 15 minutes here, see if I can come up with a composition that might work. It's not too chaotic, so yeah, I think I can make something here. So I have got a composition set up here, which in all honesty I'm not that keen on, but I am going to go ahead and take a shot here while I've got everything set up. But it's always worth experimenting with different things, and this is definitely an experimental shot. But when we are talking about the negativity side of photography, things that creep into our mindset as we're on this wonderful photographic journey, one of the things I hear quite a lot, especially on one-to-ones, obviously on the forum that we have, and people that message me, they feel like they're not progressing with their photography, they're just treading water. And I can definitely sympathise with that. I've felt that numerous times, and I just think it's something that perhaps a lot of photographers go through. I think the reason for that is, when we think about photography as a journey, it definitely has a start line, but I don't think it has a finish line. There's nowhere to get to. Maybe people have goals along the way, but there's not an actual finish line. Obviously the start line is when we first pick up the camera and we learn an amazing skill set, the exposure triangle, composition, light, all of these things that we learn, and that learning curve is super quick. And the curve, if you like, is steep, and then it tends to mellow out as we progress on our journey, and then flatten out as we've got a more advanced skill set. So when we're on that flatter curve, that flatter plateau, if you like, we can tend to feel like we're treading water and not progressing our skills. But we've got all of the skills and, you know, techniques in place to be able to capture something awesome. It's more a case of waiting for something awesome to happen to be able to capture it. Now, to capture something awesome, we have to be in place, we have to be at that location at that time to be able to capture it. So quite often it's not necessarily about us improving as photographers, it's more a case of us being in the right location at the right time to be able to capture that amazing image. So my advice to anybody that feels like they're going through a bit of a stagnant, stale stage of their photography and they're not advancing as much as they'd hope to, is get out more and shoot more. Put yourself into a position where you're more likely to capture images. The more time you spend out in the field, the more likelihood you are of capturing something awesome. I always say to myself, it's better to get out with the camera and leave it in the bag and not shoot anything than it is to not get it out and not take the camera out and stay at home. So yes, they're my thoughts. Something that I always think about when I'm feeling a little bit dejected, a little bit negative about the way I'm improving with my photography. This is this shot is, yeah, one of them experimental shots that I'll probably get back and not like, but I'm going to go ahead and take it anyway. So briefly, 40th of a second f11 ISO 160, about 40mm, letting the eye be drawn through these wonderful twisted oaks down to the cove that we've got there with the water lapping over these rock slabs. And yeah, it'll be one that I take a look at back at the computer and probably not like. 2-second timer is on. Time to move on, see if we can find something else. So, considering this video is about overcoming the negativities of photography, I felt a little bit negative coming away from that last location. I felt sure there was an image there, but I just couldn't quite piece it together. Maybe I will on another visit. One thing's for sure though, you can't really change what's happened in the past, but what you can change is what happens in the future. So if I was to let negativity get the better of me there, I might have packed my gear up and gone home, but I'm not going to venture on and see what else we can find. Let's get through this gate. There we go. And hopefully another opportunity might present itself. What a wonderful location this is though. Absolutely stunning, looking across these wonderful coves and these coastal wooded areas. So yeah, let's see if we can find something else. Guys, I've just spotted dolphins down there, which is pretty awesome. That's made my day. What I'm going to do is quickly throw the long lens on and see if I can see if they come back up again. See if I can capture some footage of them. They're literally just down here. Right, let me swap the long lens over, see if I can get some footage of them. That would be awesome. So, I've got to work quick I think if I want to get this shot. It's a little bit dicey, as you can tell by the sign there. There's a steep drop right down the other side of these gorse and bramble bushes. we've got this wonderful, absolutely beautiful point here, this rocky outcrop drifting out to sea. And we've got a gorse bush which is just perched down there, which is bright yellow, absolutely beautiful, which adds a little bit of foreground interest. The sun though, it's behind clouds at the minute. I think I've only got a few minutes before it completely dips down behind the hillside there. That's not good. That's better. That's better. It's beautiful, but can we make it work? Will we get any light? Can I get the tripod high enough? All ifs, buts and maybes. Okay, I think we can get the tripod high enough. That's good. Okay, compositionally it works really well. So we've got this gorse bush on the bottom left corner, bottom left third, and then this cove sweeps around from the bottom right hand corner all the way through the frame, and we finish at the top right hand third where we've got the final rocky outcrop. The horizon level sits bang on the top third, so compositionally the elements fit together almost textbook like, which is pretty amazing actually. It doesn't happen very often. Big problem, light. If we had some amazing cloud coverage here, the sky's lighting up and the light is hitting these rocks, we've really got ourselves a really nice shot. However, as often is the case with landscape photography, that light doesn't seem to be playing ball this evening. But of course I am going to take this shot anyway. While we're waiting for the light that may or may not happen here this evening, I just want to touch on something that has been playing on my mind essentially over the last 6 months or so, and even more so recently. And that is the whole fragility of the ecosystem in which my business and many other photographers out there, their business is built on. And it's such a fragile environment, you know, social media and Google and YouTube, all of these things essentially can be taken away from us at the click of the fingers. And it does leave you wondering whether perhaps it is worth just throwing in the towel. I'm not ready to do that, but I have scaled back my use of social media somewhat. I hardly ever use Facebook anymore, and Instagram I'm using less, to be honest. I used to post daily stories. I probably post once or twice a week now. So just scaling back my time spent on those platforms a little bit, just spending more time in the real world essentially, and that's made me feel a lot better about things. I'm also spending more time networking with other photographers, videographers, other event organisers, and that way that's helping me to generate business for them and likewise to me. So having a more physical relationship with other people is certainly more beneficial, and it's inspired me to keep going with things here. Now, in terms of the fragility of the whole ecosystem, we can see, can't we, for political reasons, not that I want to get into political reasons at all, but we can see quite a bit at the minute what's happening. Certain countries are having their Instagram, TikTok, YouTube channels just taken down, and we're talking about run-of-the-mill people like myself that have got an account that have been working really hard on over the course of many years, and they're having their accounts taken down through no fault of their own. And another little story I want to share with you before I go and before I take this image here is when I was in the Brecon Beacons not so long back in autumn last year. I'll stick the video up the top there if you check out. Actually, it's quite a good one, check it out. I met a chap called Martin Evans, lovely guy, really nice guy. Spent 10 minutes or so chatting to him and his mates, and he's recently had his Instagram account hacked and he's not able to get access to it anymore. So he's closed his account and started a new one. Now, mine's account was quite big and he had a good following on there and some amazing work, some really, really good work. So to have all of that taken away from you through no fault of your own must have been absolutely soul destroying. So if you don't take anything away from this video, please just go and give him some love, and I'll leave his Instagram account in the description and his website in the description as well. So just go and check out his work. His work is absolutely incredible. So highly recommend you checking it out. It's got some amazing waterfall shots on there and some mountain photography and whatnot as well. So honestly, go and check him out, give him some love, because that must have been pretty hard to take, and I wouldn't want to see that happen to anyone. So yeah, really, really unfortunate. So just a few things today, been playing on my mind a little bit, and I know for sure I've been playing on other people's minds as well. People have been speaking to this quite regularly with other photographers. So yeah, I think it's time for me to take this image and wrap up this week's vlog, guys, because the light is not going to happen, I don't think, here at this location this evening. I think it's possible the light is already down behind the hillside. But anyway, it's a beautiful looking scene. So let's go ahead and grab this one. I'm focusing on the gorse bush just down here on the left. F10, that's getting everything nice and sharp. 13th of a second, ISO 160. 2-second timer is on. Got some lovely patterns down here in the water right now as well, as the tides come in and filled this wonderful bay, which I think actually adds texture and detail to the shot. Would have been lovely to get some light though. What can you do? What can you do? Thanks for watching this week's vlog. I do hope you enjoyed it, got something from it. Please be sure to check out Martin's Instagram and his website. And if you want to support the channel, please be sure to check out the Photographers Clubhouse, where we learn, share and inspire each other to create amazing photographs. Link for that is in the description also. Okay guys, until next time, take care, and I will see you soon.